How is everyone doing? Good? Is everyone ready for the Super Bowl today? Is there some people that didn't even know the Super Bowl was happening today? There's a whole country I think would say they do care. It's because it makes a lot of money on commercials and whatnot. So start out. I got a question for you guys. What's something you're really looking forward to right now? What's something that you're looking really forward to right now? Lunch. Okay, great message. That's good. Butter me up. I'll take it. The good life. The Super Bowl. Yes. Like it happens once a year, but it's going to happen tonight. Kickoff is at what time? 6:30. We know. Sleep. Like a nap right after this. What about, any of you guys get really excited about like a one class you have? No. Which class? Broadcast? There's times in our lives where we actually have a fun class. It's rare, but in school, sometimes there's a really awesome class. In college, I did broadcasting, so we got to record and edit. We did our own little radio show. That was fun. I actually really enjoyed that one. Hanging out with a friend. Maybe you guys got that later today and you're looking forward to it. Some of us, the Super Bowl, we said that one. And food and a nap, also have that on this list. Those are real things. Sometimes we're I can't wait to take a nap. Or I'm really excited for lunch. For me, Crave does this crazy awesome thing called the Burger Bowl. So what it is, if you don't know, a bunch of small groups get together and try to make the perfect burger. And they give it to the judges, and the judges try there's 17 people signed up today, so they're going to try all 17 burgers. Different types, different things. And it's amazing. I'm a judge, so I've been doing it for 4 years. So is Eric. And real life, guys, this is one of those things, it's a month before, I was oh my goodness. The Burger Bowl is coming, and start saliva and everything. You taste really good burgers. Most of the time you taste really good burgers, and every now and then you get one, you're what is this? And a peanut butter, banana, vanilla burger. And you're good try. It's really bad. But we sit in a room, we eat. It's awesome. It's its own holiday. It's second Thanksgiving. It's really fun. And you get their pictures up there, so if you guys are going into 9th grade, do it. It's awesome. Make the best burger. I get to be a judge. It's awesome. But I really, that's one thing I can't wait for today. Of course, I woke up and I was going to do this message, and I was really looking forward to that. But then also it's and we got the Burger Bowl. And then after the Burger Bowl, we got the Super Bowl. It's just a great Sunday today, and I'm so excited about that. I'm starving right now. I'm what do I eat for lunch? A small salad? Because I'm about to eat 17 burgers. What do you do there? You can't do that because then your stomach shrinks. If you don't eat anything, your stomach actually starts shrinking. And then you go in there, I'm going to eat did you hear 17 burgers on an empty stomach? And it's 10 in, I'm I don't feel good. Listen, clearly you guys have done this and been a judge many years, so you know. So yeah, thank you for the advice. Growing up, patience was a tough one for me. I couldn't wait for things to happen. I always wanted them to happen right away. I couldn't wait for this to happen. You got Christmas, you got all these things at the end of the day at class, sports, whatever it is. I wanted it to happen now. But that's not how life works. You have to be patient. So today, if you want the good life, pursue patience. Pursue patience. So that's what we're going to be talking about today. And that's one thing that we all really can work on. I remember in 2010, this is actually going into 2010, I just graduated high school. I started a summer job in Virginia Beach. I was you know what? I was praying about it. I was one thing I actually want to grow and be better at is patience. And during the summer of 2010, actually, there was a case that I had to be patient with. I remember that being a turnstone in my life where it's hey, it's not just me, it's everybody. We have to be patient with everyone. So I was working at Summershine, and it is a campground, a place so people come in, all types of people, and they want to get their campsites. They want to make sure they get every awesome thing they can have. If not, they get angry sometimes. So one day, a guy comes in, and he is deaf, And this is before I took American Sign Language, so I did that in college. So I have no idea what to do. I have no training on this at all, and I probably did absolutely the wrong way to do it. So I called my boss, and I was like, hey, there's a guy, he's deaf, and he wants something. I don't know what to do. And you know what he did? No, can't do that. Fired me? No, why would you fire someone? Help the guy. So he gets out a piece of paper and pencil, and I'm like, awesome, you're going to take care of this. And he gives it to me. He's like, all right, go work on that. I was like, wow, okay, what? So it took me like 30 minutes to figure out the situation. And it was super simple, but it was like I would have to write out what's going on. What do you need? He would write on it, tells me what I need, give it back to me. And it was simple. He had 2 bus tickets, but one of those needed to be a train ticket because he was taking the bus to the train, then taking the train to his place. But he had 2 bus tickets, and one needed to be a train ticket. Yes, you see how simple that was just to say? It took 30 minutes of me just sitting there, like decoding, like what is happening right now. It was tough. I just remember at the end of the day going home, I was like, goodness gracious. Like that took way longer than I thought for 2 simple things. 2 bus tickets, one needs to be a train. But we have to get to this idea, like we need patience. We need patience. In that situation, it wasn't just patience on my half. I had to be patient for him because he could have easily got frustrated, and I would understand why. He's like, why is this high school graduate dealing with me this way? Like, he could be faster. But we get to this idea, waiting is the worst. Like, we do hate waiting, especially in this age and time. We have technology, our phones, like we can figure out something like that, and we like to prove people we know more, different stuff like, hey, is Pluto a planet anymore? No, it is. So we can debate about it, or we can look it up really quick. First service was like, everyone said no, so don't feel bad. Everybody in first service said it's not a planet. Is fried chicken still chicken? Got a good laugh there. Got a good laugh. Good laugh there. Thank you. Thank you. Dwarf planet. It's not a planet, she's saying. Anyway, does it matter? Because we like to prove our points, though. We like to be the one who's right, and we got to tell people we're right sometimes. And it's who we are. We're human beings. Also, we're American. We're like, we are number one. We can prove it because we're awesome. But, someone clapped to that. But sometimes, does it really matter? Does it really matter to be that right? Or can we be patient and listen to other sides of it? So I want to get your guys' ideas because these are not right or wrong. This is your choice. So if you like the first thing I said, stand up. If you like the second thing I'm going to say, sit down. Okay? You guys ready for this one? Okay, let's practice. Stand up. Sit down. Easy breezy. Okay. Waiting in line. These are all waiting questions, okay? Waiting in line for the restroom or for lunch. Which one's worse? Waiting in line for the restroom. Stand up, restroom. Stay seated for lunch. So change your mind. Listen, it's lunch for me because there's always a line at lunchtime. Okay, here we go again. Remember, stand up for the first one, stay seated for the second. Waiting for spring break to get here, or for the school day to end. Ooh, yeah. You just want it over, right? Yeah, it is. But you're waiting for it. But spring break, it's like saving up your allowance and you're waiting for the big one. Waiting for your Amazon package to arrive that you clearly ordered with your own money. Or for the new season of your favorite show. Waiting for your Amazon package to show up. It's all the adults. All right, have a seat. Thank you. Waiting in line for your favorite amusement park ride. I hate that. Or for cookies to get out of the oven. Says a lot about you guys. This will tell me a lot. There we go. Interesting. Yeah, and then you gotta wait for it to cool down. It's a whole thing. Wait. But she still eats the cookies. They're cookies. Waiting to be old enough to get your driver's license? Or get to high school. You can't wait to leave me? Is that what you're saying? That's all you're saying if you're sitting up? Waiting for your final grade? Or to see if you made the team, band, play, whatever it may be. Waiting for your final grade, see what you made. Make the team, yeah. Only 4 of you. All right, thank you. So at the end of this, I think we can all understand, like, most of us, no one likes waiting. No one likes waiting. Like, if it were our choice and we can have it now, I think everyone would be like, you know what, I want it now. But I think this is a part of life. Like, this is one of those things that we have to wait. There's situations where you can't get it now. That's one of the things I love about learning. Like, you can't just learn something immediately. It takes time, and you have to actually pour into it. The best basketball players in the world, the best football players in the world, they don't just get that. They have to practice. You see the greatest thing. I mean, again, I think a lot of us can say, like, Tom Brady is terrible. Yeah, 100% agree. Yeah, well, that old man's got 6 Super Bowl rings, okay? What has your old man done? So listen. I'm not a Tom Brady fan, but you gotta respect that. He is 42 years old and he won a Super Bowl last year. No one else is doing that. Even if he cheats a little bit, he's winning a Super Bowl. That's hard to do. No one watched baseball though. I'm sorry. Anyway, sorry guys. Let's get back here. Let's focus back up. It still takes practice though. It takes effort. Like, as a 42-year-old to still be playing in the NFL, that takes practice. That he's doing something right. Probably a little bit wrong, but mostly right. But anyway, no one likes waiting. I think, like, waiting can be the worst. Like, we have to sit and we have to wait for time to pass, like days, weeks, whatever it may be. And then we're working forward to something, and it feels like we have to wait forever. One of the big ones, movies. Like, we get like a teaser trailer, and it's like a year away, and then we sit and we're like, I can't wait to see that movie. I'm a big Star Wars fan, so like Mandalorian, it was good. I wasn't really waiting for it. It came out, I watched it, but now I'm waiting for season 2, which doesn't come out till fall 2020. I'm like, it's so long. I want it now. And then, I don't know if you guys know this, but you got the Kenobi series, Obi-Wan Kenobi series. Super excited about that because it's going to be like The Mandalorian. It's going to be a TV show. They pushed it back, coming out in 2021. 2021! Like, that's a year. Yep. So, but we have to wait forever for that. It feels like we have to wait forever. But if you guys have your stuff, can you guys go ahead and write this down? Romans 8:25. 8:25. But if we hope for something we do not yet see, we must learn how to wait for it. Now, is Paul talking about movies? No. He's actually talking about this idea, but if we hope for something we do not yet see, he's actually talking about the Spirit, like prayers, whatever it may be, but we can still pull this idea because we do have stuff in our lives that we hope to see, but we have to wait for it. I love this idea, we must learn how to wait for it. And this idea of learning patience. Now, there's some leaders in this room, so I'm not saying it's you guys, but we are guilty sometimes. Older people can be guilty of this, of telling someone, hey, be patient. Just be patient. But this idea of learning patience, it's a thing. You have to learn to be patient. Because sometimes we still see like adults, they're stuck in traffic and they lose their mind. I'm not saying it's your parents, but if it is, raise your hand. Okay, you're part of the problem, everybody. So But we see people, even adults, losing their mind. We see head coaches there. I love this analogy so much, but your coaches are like, hey, don't jump off sides, keep your heads in the game. And then your coaches are the ones screaming at players and refs. They're like, Coach, I'm confused of what you're telling me to do, but what you're not doing. Because if I scream at a ref, I'm off the team. I'm going to have to run suicides or whatever it may be. I can't say too much about this, but I'm a mentor, leader to a boys' shelter, and I have a kid, and I get to spend time with him only 2 times a month. At first, I was like, that's going to be easy, 2 times a month. And then later on, I'm finding out, like with holidays, it's tough just to spend two times with a person for a month. And I have to be patient with this kid because I'm a 7th, 8th grade pastor. I'm going to be honest, guys. I think I'm pretty decent with kids. What do you guys think? Yeah. Self-esteem boost. Some of you helped, some of you didn't. But this kid, like, for real, I don't think I'm getting anywhere with him. Just being totally honest with you guys. But I'm like, this is so frustrating. It feels like I'm a terrible adult, or like I'm not going to be a good father because I'm like, I can't talk to this kid. And he lies to me all the time. Hope he goes back and listens to this. And I catch him on it. And I know, I'm like, hey, you said you're doing really good in school. You had 5 days of OSS for fighting, so that's not good. And I'm like, how can I help him out? But it's one of those things, like you said, it's one of those things that I can say it, but you have to learn it. So it's this idea of learning to be patient. And of course, then also, there's things that we have to wait on that we don't love and aren't looking for. That's also an idea of being patient. And what I mean by that is sometimes you guys are in a class you just don't like, but you have to get through it. Like some of us are really good at math, and most of the times if you're really good at math, you're really bad at English. If you're really good at English, you're usually bad at math. But those are classes that you have to get through. And sometimes we're like, this isn't fair. I shouldn't be taught how to do math. But it's important. It is a very important thing that you learn. And you have to go. Hey, ladies. Shh. Thank you. So this idea of learning, like it takes place. I know also the lunch line. Like when we're hungry, it's funny. We kind of get our mindset on what we want, right? Everyone got in line at a certain time, but you're like, man, if I could just get in front of those people. Are there any people that cut in line in here? Okay, I'm going to be honest with you, okay? This is from an angry part of me, so don't take this personal, but what is wrong with you, okay? Do you think you're better than everyone else? And if you do, that's another problem you should deal with because that's not what Jesus tells us to do. Even at amusement parks, I have a problem with this. My mom will get in line, and then she's like, just come and join me. And I'm like, oh, man. And I'm going to be honest with you guys. Sometimes I do it. That's right. I sin too. I make those mistakes. But other times, like if it's like 50 people, I'm like, I can't do it. That's too much now. But if it's like 10, it's like, I can justify it because we're selfish, and we're like, well, I don't want to wait 10 more people. You won't do if it's 10, but you will if it's 50. Okay, whatever. Hey. You can only get 2 now. Patience is part of the process, guys. Patience is part of the process. Growing up, learning, sitting, waiting. It is part of the process. You guys, I don't know if you guys have written this down or even thought about it. Like, you guys, some of you guys are in 7th grade, some of you guys are in 8th grade. You're about to go to high school. That's 4 more years of school. And then, hopefully, you don't have to, but hopefully you go to college. That's 4 more years. That's 8 more years of learning, waiting. It's part of the process. Like, how many of you guys would love to start a full-time job right now? Yes. What would you guys do? Just get money. It's that easy, right? You're probably like, I'll get like a $400,000 job a year. I'm sure they're handing those out. They're not. Waiting is part of the process. Now, what happens when we struggle with being patient? What happens? Bad things happen, but like, what do you mean? Like, when you get impatient, what happens? You get angry. You get frustrated. You make bad decisions. Most of the time, we complain. We start complaining. There's people in our office, I wasn't going to say her name, but when she gets hungry, she starts complaining, and I'm still the same way. Sarah Hanks, But she gets real when she's hungry. It's like, hey guys, it's 12:01. Lunch is at 12. Where are we going? It's like, Sarah, it's just where are we going to eat? It's time to eat. It's like, okay. Same way, mine's around 11:45. My stomach growls. I'm like, it's time for lunch, guys. Where are we going? And if it keeps going, I'm like, really hungry. I don't know if you guys know, I'm really hungry. Let's go eat. Some of us complain. Some of us get annoyed. Like little things start bothering us. Like your sister past like 10:30. It's like, all right, your voice is really starting to get to that point where I need you to stop talking. Like we start getting a little annoyed. Or you get frustrated. You might even give up. In certain situations, you're just like, I'm done with this. Like maybe you're having a conversation with your friend, you're like, you know what, I'm done. Now, these are normal responses. We do these. Do you actually think any of those actually make the situation better? One person? Anyone else? No? Right? We can all raise our hand like no is the right answer, correct? Because it doesn't. Like in those situations, if anything, it can make the situation a little worse. So what do? We have to show patience. We have to learn how to be patient in those situations. Because we've all made mistakes. We've all done these. And if it were up to us, we hope people will show patience for us. But if it happens usually when we're really tired, we want to handle the situation right then. And this is Romans 12:12, another Romans verse about being patient. Be happy in your hope. Do not give up when trouble comes. Do not let anything stop you from praying. In this situation, is talking about when bad things happen to you. Don't give up. Like when someone is being impatient or making you frustrated, don't give up. Instead, take a breath. Hold on for the moment. Take a breath. Breathe. And the crazy thing, pray about it. Most of the time when we get into a spot where we're very impatient, we don't pray about it. We want to work the situation out. When Paul's just saying, hey, take a moment. Breathe. Everybody. Some of you guys sound healthier than others. Take a moment and then pray about the situation. Like, hey, before I act on this, because if I act on it, it's probably not going to be the greatest way to do it. I'm going to pray about it. Giving it to God. This is the idea of what Paul is saying. So, is there a way to figure out how to actually be more patient? You're right, you can't do that. Good. Good way to fix your answer, but that is the right answer, so good job. Because there is a way, but it's going to take time. It's actually going to take you working on this. Because you're not going to wake up and you're not just going to be like, hey, today, I'm more patient. Can you tell mom? Can you tell dad? And they're like, no. And then you get frustrated with them and walk off. It takes time. This is Proverbs 19:11. Good year. A person's wisdom yields patience. It's to one's glory to overlook an offense. Do you guys know what overlook an offense is? It's not ignore. Because if you ignore something, usually you just put it in your back pocket, and then when it happens again, you bring it back up. Remember that one time I ignored this, but now I'm going to tell you right now? It's kind of forgiving. You're like, hey, you know what? You make a mistake, I make a mistake, I forgive it, and I'm moving on from it. Because we all make mistakes. But the first part, a person's wisdom yields patience. So there you go. How patience comes as a direct result of one thing. What is it? Wisdom. It's learning it. It's understanding it. It's knowing it. It's not one of those things you wake up in the morning and you're like, today I'll be more patient. It's working on it. It's like, I'm going to try to work on patience. I know I get really angry sometimes. I know that when I play video games sometimes I get a little crazy and throw the controller. Anyone out there? Some people do. Whatever it may be, when you're texting a friend, you see those bubbles and then they disappear and you're like, what were they about to say? What were they about to say? And it drives you crazy. Maybe that's what they say, hey, take a breath. Breathe. Pray about it. Like, God, why do I get so mad when I see 3 dots and they disappear? Why does that make me impatient? Why when I play a video game, it's meant for fun, and I lose, I get angry because it's just a video game? Pray about it. Like, Breathe, take a breath. Why does that make me so upset? Am I showing patience? Am I showing wisdom about the situation? Wisdom is the ability to see and know what's best. Wisdom is the ability to see and know what's best. So if this is making me frustrated, this is making me impatient, what do I need to do to get around this? What do I need to do to work on this? So I want to give you guys 2 things to work on. 2 simple things. And this kind of gets you out of the idea of being selfish, because that's where most of our impatience comes from, because we're like, I want to do what I want to do right now. And so looking into it. And the first one is seek to understand. Seek to understand. When you're frustrated, when you're mad, when you're angry, you're not usually thinking about the other person. So when you get to that point, try to think about it from their perspective. I know it's easy to get angry and upset at your parents because they're the ones you see the most. So like your mom is supposed to pick you up at 7 o'clock. She shows up at like 7:30. And before you step in the car, you're already mad at your parents because they left you. They're like, I told you what time to pick me up. But think about it like, hey, what if your mom got stuck in traffic that she can't control? What if she got a flat tire, had to stop on the side of the road and fix the flat tire by herself? Like sometimes we don't think about that. It's just what's going on with us right now at this moment. So try to put yourself in their point of view. Maybe you got a friend who's upset at you and you can't figure it out, so you're just going to get mad. Instead of thinking, hey, maybe they're going through something crazy at home. It's this idea of, what are they going through? Like, why are they acting like this to treat me like this? And these thoughts are heavenly. These are godly thoughts that we're working through, because the world's going to tell us, hey, do whatever makes you happy. But that's not what God tells us to do. That's not how we should treat other people. And the second thing, think one step ahead. Think one step ahead. And this is where the second part of the verse, Proverbs 19:11, comes in handy. It is one's glory to overlook an offense. Is this worth it? Getting angry, getting frustrated, getting mad about this, being 30 minutes late, is this worth it? Are you going to remember this a week from now? Yeah, maybe. A year from now? Probably not. Because you're going to be late for things. 5 years from now, you won't even remember it. I remember getting so frustrated and anxious about tests. Now looking back, I can't tell you one test that I took that I remember being frustrated about. It's this thing that's gone and happened. I've went through school. I liked school. There's parts I didn't like about school, but now I can be like, hey, I did it. It's over. I remember the people more. I remember my teachers more than the tests and the stress it's caused. Think one step ahead. What is this going to look like in 5 years? So, I want to pray for you guys as we go into group, but I think about this idea. If you want the good life, pursue patience. Because I can promise you, as a 7, 8th grader right now, a lot of people aren't pursuing patience in your grade. That's not one of those things, but this is a thing that you have the ability right now to start learning and start understanding what it is. Let's pray. Dear Lord, thank you so much for this day. Thank you for these leaders that are so patient to come in and spend time with these middle schoolers. I pray for these middle schoolers that they're going through when they hit certain situations that make them feel frustrated, angry, or mad, that they can just think about, hey, I'm going to have patience for this situation. God, you are awesome, and we love you. And everyone said, Amen.